of our people as a result of both mishap and other things. The work ongoing on the Opobo Ring Road, we're very satisfied with what we saw, and we strongly believe that in the next 3 months, that project will be delivered. The Bor Internal Road is about 13.3 kilometer road, scattered around different streets. The essence of this road is for the Ogoni people here and the strangers that are living here to feel the impact of government.
As you may know, the contract for the construction of Kalibia-Belema Road and Bridge in Opobonkoro local government area was awarded at a cost of 29 billion naira in June 2024. The 13.3 kilometer Bori Internal Road in Kana local government area is 6 billion naira, with over 80% of the sum already paid. In another development, real estate success strategist My Ace China, otherwise called the Mayor of Housing, is commending Governor Fubara following the inauguration of the board and management of the first ever Rivers Investment Promotion Agency. Mr. China tells newsmen that the steady progress and the ease of doing business since the economic summit in the state speaks to the character of the governor as a man of his words.
This governor, from his body language, means business, and by the time he does this, we'll come back to praise him. And he has not only inaugurated the River State Investment Promotion Agency, but he has tasked them to make sure that River State not only returns to its garden city status, but the #1 investment destination in the world, which is very commendable.
The Mayor of Housing also said the governor's directive to focus more on manufacturing and agriculture resonates with the dream of estate developers because growth in manufacturing and agriculture would boost the housing sector as well. He said it has been his dream that the economy of River State would grow in all sectors, including the housing sector, because it is when people have money that they consider buying houses.
The new DG seems to have understood our discussions in the last River State Investment and Economic Summit, where we said that it is the LDIs, the local direct investors, that will advertise this destination to the FDIs, the foreign direct investors. And he has harped that as his #1 principle to make sure that local investors are first happy with investing in River State, and then they can shout it for the rest of the world to come to River State.
Now moving on, the River State Council of Former Labour Leaders Forum has urged the Inspector General of Police IGP to vacate his men from the secretariats of the 23 local government areas. The chairman of the forum, Achese Igwe, while addressing newsmen in Port Harcourt, said the council observed the political crisis in the state with keen interest and came to the conclusion that the police do not have a valid court order to prevent normal activities taking place at the council secretariat.
Police immediately vacate his men from all the 23 local government council in Rivers State. Allow civil servants to return back to work. Despite the halos of threats to democracy, the right to freedom, fairness and equity, the harassment of labor leaders by security agencies, we call on the President, the NLC and TUC, the neck of both labor centers to prevail on this ugly situation. Collaborate both NLC and TUC leadership in the state in this struggle. We make this call because of the loss of revenues accruing to these local government councils, the deprivations, the workers.
Speaking on recent comments of some of political leaders, including the FCT Minister Dr. Igwe, who is the former president of NUPENG, advised them to stop taking for granted the peaceful disposition of Governor Fubara.
Remain committed in supporting efforts of His Excellency Governor of Rivers State towards improving the lives of Rivers people. His ongoing socio-economic and human infrastructural development programs in the state. Make bold to say that we are not comfortable utterances of one man who enjoyed peaceful reign in Rivers State for 8 years. The forum condemned in totality the recent call by Youth Council of Nigeria in Rivers State by one Unsaribani commence impeachment process on the governor of Rivers State. Call on him to immediately retract his statement.
Correspondent Otsoyobi Oruware reports that River State Council of Former Labour Leaders Forum also called on the embattled faction of the National Youth Council of Nigeria in Rivers State by Wisabari Bani to apologize to the governor on his call to the Amihuli-led State House of Assembly to start impeachment proceedings. They advised the Nigerian state to allow the organized labor movement, especially their representatives, operate within the provisions of the extant laws of the land without unnecessary interference from the state's security operatives. Away from that, some residents in Ozuoba axis of Port Harcourt, where a lady was arrested for alleged kidnapping, are accusing her of other illegal activities. In an interview with our correspondent, some of the tenants alleged that the children never attended school and were not allowed to play with other children in the compound. They also accused the lady of always pounding at night.
She came to drop something like a very short broom at my doorstep. When I insisted the broom must leave my doorstep, all her children fought me. So since then, I don't used to talk to her. Those children that they brought out today from her house, they don't used to come outside. But when there is no water, she permits them to come outside to come and wee. Outside that, they don't play with other children. They don't go to school. They don't go to church.
This is our neighbor waiting for upstairs. It's 2 years now I don't come this compound. Since when they don't come this compound, I do observe. I say every midnight, I say they go to pound. I don't suspect since, but who I want to go meet, who I want to tell, unless something is wrong. I say one day God will expose them.
I discovered that it may be a case of ritual, because when you are pounding, it means that maybe you have some persons or some individual who you are supplying to.
It was gathered that the police traced a child from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State to her two-bedroom duplex apartment and discovered many other children. Police have yet to speak on this. Now, as at the time our correspondent visited the compound, her apartment was locked. Still to come, Vice President Shettima assures of federal government support as flood hit Borno State. Stay with us.
As schools they open on
area, John Ngubo Otamere will on Friday, 13th of September, flag off the second phase of the local government empowerment scheme initiated by his administration to the people of the area. Chief Press Secretary to Ichi Local Government Council Robinson Olwo in a statement said the empowerment program will be held at State School Okomoko Egwi, Omanyagu by 12 noon. And we'll have Governor Siminalayi Fubara as special guest of honor and the Speaker of the Pro-Fubara River State House of Assembly, Victor Okojumbo, as guest of honor. Other guests are leader of a Che Simplified Movement, Ambrose Woozy, and the River State Commissioner for Employment Generation and Economic Empowerment, Austin Nadozie. The statement noted that the program will feature the presentation of cars as empowerment, utility vehicles to security agencies, distribution of food items across the 19 wards of Eche, award of educational incentives to indigents of Eche who excelled in the 2024 JAMB examination, amongst others. Now, the statement further enjoined the people of Eche to come out en masse and give the governor and his entourage a rousing welcome to the significant event. And now the Speaker of the Pro-Fubara River State House of Assembly, Victor Okojumbo, says the Caretaker Committee Chairman of Kana Local Government Area, Marvin Yobana, has shown competence in governance. Mr. Okojumbo said this while commissioning the Rural Electrification Project in Luyo Gwara, Kagwara 1 and Kagwara 2 communities.
He did not just take our money and went to Port Harcourt to do whatever he likes. He used the very lean resources with disposal to provide something that affects both men, women, fathers, mothers, and children. What he did was to ensure that he raised the standard of living in Gwara community within the environs of Ghana local government. And I must commend Ambassador Marvin Yobana.
In his address, the CTC chairman of Kana Local Government Area, Marvin Yobana, said his administration is embarking on projects based on the needs assessment of the people.
For instance, let us take an example of a primary school made up of 6 classrooms, primary 1 to...
We spoke with the Gwara people and they said for over 6 years they've been in darkness. Even after the electricity infrastructure they had, yet they didn't have light. And past administration could not handle it. No matter the very little funds they would have spent, they didn't care for the people. But because we have a caring governor who instructed us to meet the needs of the people.
Our correspondent reports that the Speaker and the Chairman, Caretaker Committee of Kana Local Government, Marvin Yobana, were inducted as indigents of Gwara community by the traditional institution. In other news, Vice President Kashim Shettima has assured Nigerians that the administration of President Bola Tinubu will tackle the challenges of perennial flood in the country. The Vice President gave the assurance when he visited Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, on Tuesday for an on-the-spot assessment of the ravaging floods that have displaced communities in the state. He said a comprehensive roadmap aimed at addressing the issue head-on has already been developed. Major roads, houses and shops in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, and parts of the Jere local government area have been submerged by flood waters. A video of the Vice President walking through the floods during his visit to Maiduguri has gone viral. We go on another short commercial break.
I've got too many reasons.
Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris engaged in a fiery debate, bashing each other's policies and proposals in their first presidential debate of the 2024 race. Catch details of this and more on the World News at 9. And that's a wrap on the news this morning. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Governor Fubara has presented staff of office to two first-class traditional rulers. Vice President Shetima has assured of federal government support as flood hits Borno State. On the foreign scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump, U.S. Vice President Harris in fiery presidential debate. The news was edited by Chioma Ezenwafo. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.